What's good? This is Stormy B Man, and I'm back with another video editorial. This time the focus is on the upcoming card that we'll see in the main event. Gervonta Tank Davis take on Hector Luis Garcia for Tank's WBA lightweight title. But on the undercard, we're seeing a return to the ring of one Demetrius Andrade. Andrade has been away from the ring, boxing activity, and off the scene for a minute. And he is back, and back with PBC, and claims that he only wants the big fights, Charlo, Plant, Benavidez at 168 pounds. Interesting. On this card, on this night, Boo Boo Andrade will be taking on an opponent that may have something to say about that. He may throw a wrench into Boo Boo's thoughts on the future. Damon Nicholson, who is currently 26-4 with one draw and 22 KOs in a scheduled 10-rounder this Saturday on that undercard for Davis versus Garcia. Andre said, according to Boxing News 24, he's no longer focusing on trying to fight with Canelo Alvarez. And now he's looking to go after the big three, which he calls Caleb Plant, Jamal Charlo, and David Benavidez. It remains to be seen if he's able to stick to this plan, because Andrade has been such a loose gun, a wild, free-running fighter in the sport of boxing. He just hasn't been able to secure the type of fights that would net him the proper notoriety and also prestige and legacy that comes along with. It says that Andrade is willing to run the gauntlet at 168 on Showtime to get the fights that eluded him when he was fighting on DAZN and couldn't get Canelo, Gennady Golovkin, or Jaime Munguia to answer the door. Andrade, who's 31-0 with 19 KOs, had to move over to Showtime to get the fights that he'd been looking for. But it was pretty clear that there was no interest from the other three, Alvarez, Golovkin, or Munguia, in fighting him when he was at DAZN. So Andre goes on to say, I'm here at Showtime, and anybody at 168 that's going to put on a great fight is who I'm looking for. They, the PBC, have the fighters that I want to get into. I tried it with DAZN, and the list goes on. I was over there. I went to everyone's door, but nothing happened. The PBC is the best place, he says, and they also want to make great boxing. Right now, they're all tough. They're all top-level fighters, so each and every one of them is tough. He says, I think it's because my right foot and my right hand is my lead hand, Andre said when asked why the top fighters don't want to face him. In other words, they don't want to fight him because he's a southpaw. There could be some truth to that, because not only is Andrade a southpaw, but he is a well-tooled southpaw with very good footwork, lateral movement, nice pop on his punches, and he has a little bit of unorthodox about how he delivers his shots. He would be a problem for whomever he got in the ring with. And that is something that stacks the deck against him. Because in today's time, a lot of fighters are not practiced in how to deal with defeating styles because there are not a lot of teachers out there. There are a few, but the few don't measure up to whom would be entering the ring to face Andrade, because none of the coaches that are at that weight class that are a part of that few are who he would have to deal with. Southpaws have historically run into problems securing good fights, which is one of the major reasons that the old trainers used to turn them around and make them orthodox. Yeah. And it went like that for a long time. I think over the past 20 to 25 years, we have seen more southpaws than ever, natural boxing southpaws in the sport than at any other time in the history, because the trainers used to turn the fighters around. Oscar De La Hoya is actually a southpaw. Mike Tyson is actually a southpaw, for an example. But not to digress, when you consider a fighter of Demetrius Andrade's boxing ability, that's where the trouble comes in. And when he gets in against Nicholson, Nicholson is going to find these things out as well. Nicholson, who's bringing in a record of 26-4 with one draw, hopes to upset Andrade's debut. And when you look at it, he may be able to do some things. He's an orthodox fighter who's 6 feet tall and has a 72-inch reach. Andrade is 6'1" with a 73-inch reach. Nicholson is 29 years old. Andrade is 34. So the clock is ticking on Andrade, who's on the south side of his prime now. But I don't believe they brought Nicholson in to upset Demetrius Andrade. So he's going to have to perform and look good enough to entice the heads of PBC to want to stimulate a fight going forward with him, with one of the other fighters. Like I said, win, lose, or draw, I want to be a part of it. I want to find out what it is. I want to give the sport what it's looking for, as well as myself. He says the rivalry is crazy. We've been going at it for years, he's saying of Jamal Charlo. It's like the real rivalry that's out, me and him on site. What you looking at? That's what goes on when we see each other. Nothing but respect for them and their family, but let's take care of what you guys talk. You guys talk a lot of ish, and you guys are out there thinking you're the big bad wolf. Look who else is calling them out. I'm calling them out. What's the situation? I'm here. I'm definitely like a blockbuster. You know what I'm saying? Said Demetrius when told that if he beats Jamal Charlo, his brother Jamel will want to fight him to avenge his defeat. He says, I definitely like to make that happen. The 154 undisputed kid was the first tangle. That's all over and done with. We're going to fight at a much more mature level, and the pay is going to be much more greater. He says, I've been out of the ring for 15, 16 months. We all go through those stages. I hope everything is okay with Jamal, so he and I can get it on. You know, when fighters go through what they go through, it is a brotherhood. And sometimes guys can understand what their opponent is going through or a potential opponent is going through. Sometimes it's just about showing that respect. And eventually, the highest form of respect is giving a guy an opportunity to make money and feed his family. That's what boxers, the real fighters, throughout history have done for one another. It's something that should be considered amongst these guys of today. Sometimes the best money that can be made is in they facing one another properly. And maybe after he gets beyond this fight, Demetrius Andrade will finally be in a position to do something and face someone else that will bring his name to the forefront, and they can bring boxing to the forefront. What do you think? Let me know. Leave comments. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Do you think that this second go around will be a charm for Demetrius Andrade with the PBC? Will he finally get in there against some of the noted fighters that are at that weight? We hope to see something. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.